rulers aren't cheap anyway. I've got a whole slew of Creative Grids rulers. I can't afford to replace all my rulers with these new silicone backed rulers. And so I'm going to show you a trick, because I think a lot of you are going to be the same way. I love Creative Grids rulers. We use this ruler in the store. This is a Creative Grids ruler, and we've noticed that it started slipping, and it's because the grippers are worn down. And I don't know if you can see if there's any difference in seeing. I don't know if you can see the difference. You can still see it here, but if you could have field of vision, you could feel the grippers here versus the grippers here, and you would understand that these grippers on this ruler have worn off. And I'm like, okay, we know we need to figure out, do we replace the ruler or do we figure out a solution? So there are gripper dots that we could stick on this, and that would work, and that's great. Or we could do this other thing, and this is what I want to show you today. This is called friction tape, and it's by Bloc Loc. I'm sorry, Traction Tape. And I'm going to show you how to apply this to your rulers. There's two methods, and this is amazing. It will not slip. Your ruler will not slip. I don't know. Anytime we talk a lot in quilting about you need to be accurate, and sometimes even with these rulers with these dots, the Creative Grids or other kinds, there still can be a little bit of slippage. You all know what I mean. A lot of times it comes from how hard we're pushing with our rotary cutter against our ruler, and that's what forces the ruler to slip, and then we're like, oh, miscut, got to start over. So we're going to learn about this. I put a strip of, I don't know if you can see that, of this silicone stuff on the edge of this ruler. And yesterday I was concerned because it was lifting off the edge. It has now dried completely, and there is no slippage. I could peel this off if I wanted to. I don't want to. And now it's not going to slip. And it will collect lint. I'm going to let you know, they say that this silicone collects lint, but all you have to do is take it and wipe it off with warm water. Warm water. And let it dry. So I did it on this is my 12.5 inch, 3.5 by 12.5 inch ruler. And then I went, well, let me see on my 8.5 inch square. This is one of my rulers that I use a lot. And so this time, instead of putting it on the edges, I just put it on the four corners. So it's on the four corners, and it's going to lock tight, and it's going to hold. And I will demonstrate both of those. So when you get your traction tape, and I know it's going to sound expensive because it's $29.99, and you get a 1 inch by 36 inch piece of the silicone, and then you get this surfactant, did I say that right? That is how you apply a strip. Now, on the video that I watched on Bloc Loc, they had a left-hand ruler. Who knew that they made left-hand rulers? I did not know that, but they do. And they recommended doing it on just one side of the ruler, the side that you're going to use for your measuring. Because I'm right-handed, and I use my Creative Grids left and right. I sometimes use the whole numbers, and sometimes I rotate it and use the half numbers. I just went, well, we're just going to try it anyway, and I liked it. So you wash your ruler in warm soapy water and let it dry, air dry. Don't wipe it with a towel because you'll get linties on it, and you don't want the linties. Okay, and then you're going to measure your traction tape stuff paper side up, and then you're going to give yourself a little bit of extra. You don't need a lot because, like I said, this is not cheap stuff, so don't give yourself a lot of overhang. Okay, then you're going to spray the edge of your ruler with the juice. Then you're going to peel the paper off. My hand is wet now, and it's being slippery. Peel the paper off, and then this side is sticky, and that's the side that goes against the ruler. And I am going to put it so I have just a little bit overhang on the edge of my, let me hold this up so you don't get the glare, so maybe you can see that there's this overhang, like about 1/4 of an inch, maybe less. All right, and if it were a bigger ruler, I would take a credit card or something and I would squeegee it down. And at this point, you let this ruler rest on a flat surface far away from anything, because I found that this, I don't know, you see that corner right there? That picked up paper on my cutting table. And so I was like, oh, I know. So you let that dry for at least 30 minutes. And then you will just trim off the extra. Make sure that you use a rotary cutter blade that you're not using on fabric. This is an old blade. It needs to be changed. I know that. So just be aware of that, because it's not fabric, right? We don't want to cut on our fabric. So you're going to let that dry, and then you'll end up with a nice piece like that. And it's on there. It's on there. Yesterday I could peel it back. I can't peel it back today. So that's the good news. On these little pieces that I did on my square, I just took little squares, cut them, and then peeled the paper off and then stuck them sticky side down. And they have stayed just fine. So now let me show you why you want to do this. Because this is really, really, really amazing to me. This ruler, when you put it wherever you're going to put it, I'm going to flip the fabric this way because I am right-handed. So if I wanted to cut, it's not, it doesn't move. It doesn't move. And I can get a really super accurate cut that way, because now my ruler won't move, right? I mean, we're used to walking, and I will still walk my hand up, but it's not going to move at all. And I am getting accurate cuts. So if I want to up my precision game, that's what you're going to do. Even on this ruler, even if I'm just going to cut, let me rotate it so even if I'm just going to cut like, I want to do a 4-inch. Now I know this side is straight, right? So I'm going to line it, and you do have to work your ruler just a little bit differently, because it doesn't. You have to kind of lift it up to move it. It will not slide. It is not going anywhere. Nowhere. I can cut, and I didn't cut that right there. I can cut a lot more accurately. Lift up my ruler, turn that around to get to that last edge, because we're doing a 4-inch square. Line that up, line that up. It's not moving. Again, it will not move. I didn't have it lined up though, so let me line it up with my fabric. Can't do it everything with the rulers in your hand or rotary cutters in your hand. And it's sticking to the mat. So I'm like, I have to lift it a different way to get it where I want it to go. So if that's the case here, I might move this up just a little bit to help me do that, because I know it's square in here. I just have to trim off this edge here to get my square the way I want it. And there's my 4-inch square. Beautifully, perfectly straight. There is a little learning curve with how to use these once you get that silicone on there. But I'm finding that I'm actually really liking this. And the more I use it, the more I'm liking it. We slide our rulers a lot, and especially on like the Minky, and I'm not cutting, I just want to show you. This ruler slides beautifully on the Minky, and sometimes that's what you need. If we put the silicone on this, we would definitely have to lift the ruler to move it, because I want to show you, that's not sliding anywhere. The fabric's going to move, but the ruler is still where I put it down. So instead of investing in all new rulers with the silicone backing, because they're extremely expensive, just buy a package of the traction tape by Bloc Loc and give it a try. It works for templates. I mean, a lot of us use templates, and just a little piece on your plastic template is going to hold that template and give you a lot more accurate template work. I can see it in so many different applications to help you get your templates and your rulers where you want them and get more precision in your quilting. So I'm pretty excited about it. I hope you'll give it a try. Thank you for watching.